Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all well and happy today. Hello to Lucy Marie and Anna and Lily. And hello to Harriet, Eddie, Brett and Gogo. I hope Gogo's also watching today. And hi Celeste, how's Krimmel? Hope he's fine. And today we welcome Caleb. Hello Caleb. Hope Toto's sitting with you. And also the Pringle family of the Bavians. To Ella, Hannah, Luke and Sophie. We're very happy that you're joining us today. I know that you've been very busy riding horses, climbing mountains. You've been really adventurous in your time up the mountain. I hope you enjoyed today's story, The Town Mouse and the Country Mouse. Most of us live in the country. Caleb lives in the town. And wherever we live, we're very grateful for our wonderful homes and warm beds at night. The town mouse and the country mouse. A little mouse who lived in a busy, bustling town was on a train to the country. He was going to visit his cousin. The town mouse was excited, as he had never been to the country before. Meanwhile, the country mouse was hard at work, preparing for the town mouse's visit. There we see the town mouse on the train going to visit his cousin. Can you see the cappuccino next to him? And the buildings in the distance. And the country mouse is dusting the house, getting it nice and clean, putting out the welcome mat to say welcome to her cousin. After a long journey, the town mouse arrived. The cousins greeted each other joyfully. Hello, hello. The town mouse has a backpack on his back, and the country mouse has a lovely purple scarf with purple gumboots on, because gumboots are very useful and helpful in the country. The country mouse showed off her home in a tree trunk. She lived in a tree trunk. It was simple, but warm and cozy. It doesn't look much like my home, the town mouse said. There's the town mouse visiting his cousin. Her home is cozy and warm, curtains with a table and a chair, and a tree trunk. I hope they have lots of fun together. Once the town mouse had rested, the country mouse took him to meet the farm animals next door. They crowded round to greet him. Curious, the horse lowered his head and sniffed at the town mouse. "Watch it," he cried. He wasn't keen on these new animals. And there we have the horse sniffing to say hello, the sheep looking on, and what else do you see? Yes, a rooster. The horse's nostrils were really close to that town mouse. That evening the country mouse served a dinner of bread and cheese. It was not at all like the fancy meals the town mouse was used to. All night the town mouse tossed and turned in his bed of leaves. Yes, his bed was made of leaves. He was used to sleeping in a much softer bed. A lovely dinner of bread and cheese, and then the town mouse had to sleep in a bed of leaves. Would you sleep in a bed of leaves? I think it could be quite soft, but maybe a little bit rusty because the leaves dry out. "How do you put up with this?" the town mouse asked in the morning. "Your food is plain and you sleep on leaves. Come to the town with me and I'll show you how to live." The country mouse was eager to see the town, so she agreed. "Come with me to the town and see how I live." So the country mouse is going to make a journey to the town. The town mouse lived in a grand house in the middle of town. The country mouse was amazed. Inside, the town mouse proudly showed off his home. It was very comfortable. Just look at the house of the town mouse. It's enormous. It's 3 stories high. And inside the house, it's very, very smart. I don't think the country mouse will be sleeping on a bed of leaves, do you? The town mouse began a tour of the house. In the kitchen, they spotted a cat prowling round. "Hide, hide," the town mouse whispered. "Shh." They scurried under a cup, where they waited, hardly daring to breathe. Phew! At last, the cat stalked away. "That was close," exclaimed the country mouse, trembling. Celeste, if Krimmel saw a mouse, he would want to chase it, wouldn't he? 'Cause cats love to chase mice. So they hid under a cup, trembling with fear. It's quite dangerous in that house for the country mouse. Next, they crept into the living room. There were people there, watching a bright, glowing screen. The country mouse gazed at it. She had never seen anything like this before. What is a bright, glowing screen? You all know what that is. The TV, yes. In the playroom, there were all kinds of toys. The country mouse knocked over a tower of building blocks, which came tumbling down. Crash! Everything is so strange and foreign to the country mouse. She's never seen a TV before, and all the toys and building blocks. It was quite frightening for her. Then they went to the dining room. On the table, they found a delicious-looking feast. There were sandwiches and pies and cakes and biscuits, everything that was good to eat. The mice helped themselves. "Oh, this looks yummy. And this looks just like Celeste's mom's deli when we go in and there are cakes and biscuits and pies and delicious goodies to eat. You just don't know where to start. It all looks so good." And it also looks as though there's some jelly there. Jelly is so much fun to make and even better to eat. "I've never had food like this before," mumbled the country mouse. "Yummy!" The town mouse laughed. "This is how you could eat all the time," he replied. Suddenly the mice heard growling and scratching at the door. 2 dogs burst in, sniffing the air. The country mouse is nibbling at all that delicious food, when suddenly these 2 dogs just burst in. Caleb, if Toto came into a room and there was a mouse there, he'd want to chase the mouse, wouldn't he? And if the Pringle dogs saw a mouse or a few mice, they would be after them like a shot. The dogs began to bark, jumping up at the table. The mice scampered away in fear. And there the dogs are barking. And the poor little mice are so scared. They just scamper away. Enough was enough. The country mouse said goodbye and left the town at once. "Goodbye, cousin, goodbye. Better to live poorly in peace than richly in fear," she said. And there she is saying goodbye to her cousin. Some of us live in the country and some of us live in town. And wherever we live, we're just so grateful for what we have. Our lovely comfy homes, our warm beds and food to eat. So just enjoy wherever you live. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you all soon. Bye now.